Today I'm making an advent calendar. This is a cloth calendar which will be a wall hanging, and this is suitable for adults. Now this is called Christmas Traditions by Judy Hanson for Paintbrush Studio Design. I bought this a number of years ago. It is cloth. I've had it folded up, so first of all I've given it a good steam iron before following the instructions that are included with it. Let me show you how to make it. First of all, iron. Use a good steam iron. Now, this is a real good quality cotton, and you can see it's really vibrant in colour with gold accents. 24 pockets, and this design is square. I'll measure it. It measures 23 by 25. Well, the clocks are going back tonight, so I've acquired an extra hour. So I'm sitting at my Singer 99K hand crank sewing machine. I've got a 50 weight cotton in the top and in the bobbin, and my stitch length is about 2.5. Now my presser foot allows me to get a very tight 1/8 of an inch seam line along here, which is great, and it's very quiet, so I'm not disturbing my neighbours. Once you've cut the squares, just tack over the top edge. I'm going to sew that now 1/8 of an inch from the edge. Now match up the numbers with the corresponding space and just pin it very loosely in place. The seams of the pockets can now be folded over and then tacked into place, ready to stitching. And I'm going to stitch again very close to the edge, about 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. I need 2 hands for this. Once the tacking is removed, the top can be secured just by taking that loose thread through to the back and then tied in a knot and then cut. To create a quilt sandwich, I've laid the advent calendar on my bed to raise it up to a level that's comfortable for me, and I'm using bent pins to sandwich them together. For my base, I've chosen a cream cotton. I have a thick polyester filling, and I'm pinning on the edges and then in the middle. And I'll work from the middle outwards, and you'll see that I have excess quilting potential around the edge. Aim for an extra 2 inches around each edge. It's worth using plenty of pins here, and you'll see that I've placed them around the poinsettia. It's now ready for me to take back to the sewing machine. To quilt, I've used a matching cotton thread in cream to match the backing, and I've loaded this. This is a vintage Silco 50 weight thread, and I have that in my bobbin, so that will show on the back of the quilt. And for the front, I have my Scarlet Silco as before. To quilt, I'm going to sew into the red poinsettias, in particular bringing out the shape of the leaves here. I don't need to do the outline because the gold does that very well. So I'll take those loose ends and bury them in the middle of the quilt, and let's see what it looks like on the back. I'll do the same with those threads on the back, but there's actually no pulling there. I'm happy with that. So I'll now continue. I'm going to work from the middle outwards. All the loose ends can now be buried inside the quilting. To ensure that there's sufficient quilting in this corner, I'm actually going to quilt around the bells using cream cotton in the top and in the bobbin. Now, before I add my binding, I need to add some hanging loops, and this is a recycled grosgrain ribbon from a chocolate box, Christmas chocolate box. And I'm going to cut, they're about 5 inches in length, and I'm going to put them equidistant on the middle. I'm going to pin them, and then when I sew on the trim, which is bias binding, when I sew on the trim, I'll catch the raw edges inside. And now the binding can be finished on the back with a slip stitch that's not going to show on the front. Oh, I need to get that bit of tacking cotton out, don't I? The straps need now be turned back on themselves and just stitched into place. And here's the finished article. I've got it hanging on a pole, rather like a curtain pole. And I filled it, because it's for adults, with things that adults would like. So you can fill them with small things. This one has got some fridge magnets in it, some nail polish, a lip salve, and somewhere there I put some room fragrance. Of course, because it's for an adult, you can fill it how you want. They fold up brilliantly. They're soft and malleable, and they're washable, and it's lush. Now, of course, any grandparent could put it out for when the grandchildren come, or maybe a parent can put it out when their children come. My mum used to do things for me because she said on Mother's Day she realised there was no Daughter's Day. It'd be nice to get a gift in something like this, wouldn't it? Right, so it's going to be the 1st of November tomorrow. I've got another of these to do, and I've got some for children to do. But for now, this is Maggie, the Cheshire Crafter. Come back and see me soon, won't you? Bye.